In this video, we're going to talk about which improvements increase the value of your home. Welcome back to the channel. This is Justin and Brandy from Team Grande, and we sell real estate in Hamilton.
So like Brandy mentioned, today we're going to talk about some of the upgrades you can do to your house that are going to add value to it. We actually have this great infographic that we will post in the link below, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the link if you want this information in a picture format. So let's dive right into it. What are some things we can do to improve our house? So one of the common ones that we see is sort of the beautification of your property. It's landscaping. So with landscaping, you can expect anywhere from a 25 to 50% on whatever you invest. So that includes, gardens, planting trees, sort of doing that, like I said, beautification, making sure that your grass, you have grass, it's not patchy, that sort of thing, walkways, all that sort of outdoor landscaping.
It seems a little steep to me, but if you think about it, when I've gone to see properties with clients, it kind of sets the stage for your home. It's that first impression they get when they walk up.
Especially if you do some sort of privacy landscaping. Like I know that in my backyard, I have some trees, what are they, cedars? But they've grown now above the fence line, so they give me some great privacy across the back.
Huge.
Yeah.
The next one is fence. I don't know, 25 to 50% seems a little high, but I've seen a house before, and you're kind of sketchy on what's going behind it. So it can kind of set the stage between
fence houses. Definitely helps. One thing fence is always huge for is when you have people looking that have pets, like a dog or even small kids, they want to have a fence that they can kind of keep everything contained.
Yeah.
And then certain styles of fences, like now the horizontal fence is really popular, the wooden horizontal, right? And so, I mean, especially with the lumber prices, they've gone back down now, but still, it's a great investment just for the privacy, location. And there's different types, vinyl, wood, but definitely you'll see a good return on that.
Yeah.
Next, swimming pool. So a swimming pool back in the day used to be a hit or miss. It used to, some people wanted it, some people don't, and I think it still is kind of like that. But I do notice since COVID, like even if you try to buy a swimming pool now, you're almost waiting. Like if you were trying to order one now, you're probably not going to get one until next year, right? Everybody wants a swimming pool. Everybody's thinking of their backyard sort of oasis where they can go and relax in the summer. So that gives you a 10 to 40% return. Some people will still come in and say no.
I think it depends on the time of year that you purchase it as well.
Yeah.
Like if people are looking at houses end of winter going into spring, I think that mindset of a pool is a little bit more there than end of summer.
And even the price point too probably matters. Like if you're over $1 million or 1.5 million, 2 million, I think when you get into that luxury range,
it's almost a standard.
People want that pool for sure.
100%. And then we have central AC is 25 to 75%. That's a pretty large range.
Yeah.
Why do you think?
I guess it depends what you put in. I don't know. That is a huge range. Like, because an AC you can get for what, $2,500. Maybe some people can cheaper, but if you can spend $2,500 and make a couple thousand off of it by putting it in, that's a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
Right. Especially, I guess if it's high efficiency, mid efficiency. If that makes a difference. The size, I don't know the size of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be location dependent too, right?
Yeah, for sure. We move on to one that has sort of the lowest rate of return, skylights. So, skylights, I'm not a huge fan of them. I know some people love them. You only make 0 to 25% on the money that you put in a skylight. So you could literally install a skylight and make 0% return in the value of your home. Reason being, skylights are notorious for leaking. I know I've had home inspectors say it's not a matter of if the skylight's going to leak or if it's leaking, it's just when it's going to leak. So I think a skylight is something, if you like it, you generally want to have the skylights, you like the natural light coming in, then do it. But just know you're doing it as a personal preference and you're not really doing it to increase the value of your home. Yeah,
and it costs around $4,000 all said and done, install, buy the window, everything. Just think about what you could put $4,000 into in a house. Maybe fix up a powder room, which has, bathrooms always have a large return on investment. All the places you could put that money.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and then we have construction of a garage. It is a pricier fix. I mean, really depends on what you do, but that's 50 to 75% return on investment.
which is great.
It's pretty high.
A lot of people ask me that, especially if you're living on the Hamilton Mountain, if you're on one of the east streets or the west streets, or if you're downtown, Hamilton East, and you have those large lots with the old homes on them, but you have so much space in your backyard to put up a garage. This is a great value add. I think, especially if you do it in those areas like the east streets and that, I think you'll see that extra 75%, if not more. There's just a huge demand for garages. So if you have the option, the space to add one, and you're debating, should I do it? Is it going to add value to my house? Do it. It's going to add value to your house.
Yeah, you have to have a certain clearance between your house and the next house, and it also depends on permits. But like you said before, it can be detached and behind it.
Yeah, that's why it's very popular on the east streets.
Yeah.
And then redoing your driveway, asphalt, interlock, stone driveway, concrete driveway. This adds 20 to 50%. Definitely helps with the curb appeal driveways. Like I know when we roll up to it and you get some of those older homes. I still see some homes that are like 25 years old. There's one on my street actually that still has a gravel driveway.
Really?
I think when you just pave it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's expensive.
Yeah. But even to just do asphalt, or even if you see the old asphalt driveways that are all, from just parking on time, they're all wavy and cracked and stuff.
Yeah.
You definitely get your value back on that. And then
Sure.
you're obviously going to get more return if you're doing like a stamped concrete or like an aggregate or something like that on the driveway. So definitely you're going to 20 to 50% on that.
Yeah. This is a big one, especially if you've lived down the mountain or in an older home. New windows and doors give you a 50 to 75% return on your investment. I think that's huge. It's about heating costs. A lot of people are conscious about efficiency in their home now.
They are, and especially, I can never stress enough the importance of the front door. I think that the front door is the first thing people see when they're walking into your house. It's the first experience they have with your house.
For sure.
So if your front door looks new, it's clean, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
So I think it's always worth investing in a little bit nicer of a front door than just going with like a standard steel door.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Roof replacement. This one is not a fun, sexy one. This is roof replacement. 50% to 80% return on investment though. The reason being the roof is like the hat of your house. It basically keeps all the elements out, keeps the rain out, stops all that major damage. So definitely the roof is worth it. If you're like missing shingles, your roof, if you're thinking, oh no, I need to do my roof, like should I do it before I sell type of thing, like I think the roof is definitely something you should do because everybody knows it's a big expense. When we pull up to the house and you're looking at the outside, you see the roof, and if the roof looks like it's deteriorated, you start to think, okay, I'm gonna have to, immediately right off the top, before they've even walked into the house, okay, I'm gonna have to spend thousands of dollars now on this roof.
I've had clients turn away a showing just because the roof looks so old.
Picky clients.
Yeah. Well, obviously
it's
budget
true.
dependent too,
Yeah.
but
No, I've had people do
we
that,
refused
yeah.
putting in an offer just because they didn't want to deal with the roof.
Yeah, big unknown.
Yeah. This one's big. Interior and exterior paint is 50 to 100% difference. And
Return
I have
on
a connection.
investment.
And I have a connection to paint. So.
You do? There you go.
Yeah.
So it's even bigger return on investment.
Yeah, there you go.
Painting's huge. Painting's the cheapest thing you can do
Yeah,
with the most return on money.
for sure. It's just a little bit of
Always.
sweat equity.
Yeah, even if you hire somebody to do it, right?
Yeah.
But just to have freshly painted trim,
Yeah.
freshly painted walls,
Yeah.
like it goes such a long way when you're selling. Even though most people do move into a house, I'd say a lot of the times they end up repainting a lot of the rooms anyways, but still, just when people walk in to have that freshness,
yeah.
makes a massive difference.
Especially if you're clients and they're walking through the house or they're looking outside and they're looking at detail, if there's right away issues with the walls that they can see, they're going to look deeper.
That's it. So let's move inside to the house now that we're talking about paint. Bathrooms. So bathrooms give you a 75 to 100% return on investment. I'm a big believer in this. I know when we're looking at houses, like the bathrooms is a main point for it. We know we can renovate them, but if you walk into one and it's nice, it's that wow factor, like,
For sure.
I don't have to do it. Right?
Think about it, it's such an intimate space.
Yeah.
So.
And I think the reason the range is, 75 to 100, like it depends what you're doing. Are you redoing the tub? Are you redoing a vanity? Like, or are you redoing the whole thing, glass shower, those bigger tiles, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely think the bathroom is something, if you think your bathroom's slacking a little bit, consider doing some upgrades there and it's going to be worth it.
I'm on the fence about this next one. So it's addition of a family room, and that's 50 to 75% return of investment. I think, yeah, adding the extra space makes sense, but
If you live in an 800 square foot house, 1,000 square foot house on the East Mountain, you can add another 150, 200 square feet. I think that's a big value add. More living space.
yeah, I guess
Put a little
so.
addition, put a sunroom. Sunrooms are huge.
Yeah.
Again, that's another thing that became popular during COVID,
That's
was
true.
people wanting that sort of 3-season
Yeah, you're
space
right.
because there's so much time at home.
Yeah, you're right.
So definitely, if you're thinking about, oh, should we do an addition or not, or should we just sell and go bigger? If you love your house and you just want a little more room, it's definitely worth it to tack that family room on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Finished basement. This is probably the most common one I get. I always have people,
Oh, yeah.
actually on last Saturday I was at somebody's house and they were asking me if they should finish the basement before they get ready to sell.
Yeah.
So finished basement gives you a 50 to 75% return on your investment. I think finished basements, because we're in Canada, it's huge. We spend so much time in our house in the winter. Having that extra space to go to is just a massive value add. And I mean, you don't have to go crazy. Obviously, you can put like a bedroom, bathrooms and all that.
Bathroom
but
is huge.
Bathroom's a big add. But even if you just finish it just for extra space is a huge value add.
Yeah, I've had lots of clients not want to go look at a place because it doesn't have a basement.
Yeah, they don't want to go through the work,
Especially
I guess.
if they're
right?
moving in with their in-laws.
Yeah, in-law suites.
Yeah. Okay, so kitchen. Kitchen can add 75 to 100% return on your investment. I mean, this makes sense, right? Everyone wants the new, updated. We've seen houses sit because the kitchen are a little bit outdated.
Yeah, and I mean, there's different ways you can always update your kitchen. One very
You
popular
can spend
one,
a lot of money
yeah,
or not
a little.
spend a lot of money. Yeah.
Like we've seen a lot of people on a budget. They've just painted the cabinets, changed out the hardware, changed the countertop, put up a new backsplash. Not a huge expense, but
The faucet.
yeah, can make it look like a newer, fresh kitchen when people walk in. So I definitely think the kitchen. I'm never. Yeah, if anybody ever asks, should we redo the kitchen? I mean, to redo it to sell, I'd say no. I would just price it accordingly. But if you want to think like, how can I add value to my home because I do want more money and I want to do the work, kitchen for sure.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
For sure.
New heating system. So furnace is 50 to 80% return on your investment. Furnace is one of those things that's got to be working. You know, when you go to sell a house, we want the furnace to be working. Everybody does. And then people always ask everybody, what's the age of the furnace? How old is it? Because they're trying to decide, is this something I'm going to have to spend $3,000-$4,000 on in the next like year or 2 years? It just helps with the budget. It's one of those things like the roof. Like people want that to be working and in good working order. They want to know the age of it because the older it is, then they start to calculate, okay, I'm going to have to do this. So I think if you have an older heating system, consider putting in a high efficiency furnace.
If you don't, you should also consider getting annual checks on it. I've seen so many furnaces that are 10, 15 years old and they haven't been checked since 2015, 2010, and it just prolongs the life of it.
Yeah, Reliance has a pretty good package actually for monthly maintenance.
Yeah.
Even one of the houses that we did the inspection on, furnace was from like 1980 something.
Yeah.
And it was still going.
Yeah. People know too. That's the first thing they look at. They go to look for the sticker and when has it been checked last. So hardwood flooring, 50 to 75% return on your investment. I think it's safe to say carpet is out.
It is. You know what though? Some people still prefer it in bedrooms.
But
I hear that a lot.
You know why? I think now too, I think COVID's kind of solidified that. It's a cleanliness factor, right?
Yeah, but definitely in living rooms, hardwood, family rooms, hallways, that sort of stuff, you definitely want hardwood.
My grandma had like that carpet stuff near her toilet in the bathroom back in the day.
Yeah.
So gross.
There you go. The carpet around the toilet.
Yeah.
Even if even if you do hardwood in the bedroom, it is a big thing. And if you want the coziness, just throw down like a big area rug.
Yeah,
I think.
I got tons of those.
Just to finish that. So,
Yeah.
And then fireplace. Should I put in a fireplace? We're seeing a huge rise in the popular feature walls where you do the fireplace with the TV mount, maybe a nice
Mantle.
mantelpiece, right? That's a 50 to 75% return. Fireplaces are a great value add. They add ambiance. They add extra heat. If you go, whether you go electric or gas, I think it's definitely worth it. If you don't have a fireplace and you want to do like a nice cool feature or something in your family room, it's a great upgrade. Everybody loves it. Nobody walks in and goes, oh man, there's a fireplace. That
No.
sucks, right?
8 months of the year here, it's freezing. So
I know.
who doesn't want one?
You're right, especially around, full on winter. There's nothing like having a fireplace
Yeah.
going.
It's True.
So I guess to sum it up, what we learned, if you're going to spend money on your house and get the most bang for your buck, paint, kitchen, bathroom.
Absolutely.
Those are the biggest focuses. If I were to do anything, you want to do some minor upgrades, whatever you want to do to it, paint, kitchen, bathrooms, that's where I would put my money to get the most value out of the house.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in this week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are going to link this in the bio as well as our information. So if you have any questions, shoot us a DM. Have a great night.
Take care.